D&D Broadcasting, 19 February 2009. And here's today's story. Russia sinks Chinese ship bound for U.S. with nuclear warhead. Russian Coast Guard and naval forces were forced to sink the Chinese registered cargo ship New Star, bound for U.S. port of Seattle, after it refused orders to stop and be boarded over fears it was carrying a missing nuclear warhead from a Russian Topol-M intercontinental ballistics missile. Just released video of the warnings given to the New Star to halt clearly show its violations of international law, giving Russian naval forces no choice but to sink the vessel, and the battle of which we can read. And to that note, here is to the demise and the downfall of the New World Order. That's what all you call them out there. I call the New World Order, I call it all Congress, all Senate. I call it the military. I call it the policeman that gets behind you. I say that the New World Order is already here, and it has been for years. And this is their final phase, trying to start their martial law, trying to start their concentration camps to put all of us in, trying to chip all of us, and they're doing it through the economic terrorism by printing more and more money, the U.S. Treasury via the orders from the Federal Reserve. Print more and more money. That doesn't mean anything. It's not worth nothing because there's no gold backing it up. It's the Federal Reserve, it's the New World Order, it's the global elites. But here's the thing. Everybody in Congress is part of it, okay? Including Ron Paul, Dennis Kucinich, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton. They are all in on this thing, okay? To completely collapse the dollar. So the New World Order is the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Bloombergs, all the rich bastards. The used car salesman, that's what I call them. Anyway, so I believe in the New World Order. I just don't believe it's not here already, like a lot of people believe that it's coming. No, it's already here. And what we can do right now is you can join with me in my fight to fight these bastards. But when I say that Ron Paul is one of them, all of you cringe out there that are watching Alex Jones, because Alex Jones has Ron Paul on his show all the time, and many other senators. But those people that he has on his show, whether he's part of it or not, I have no idea. But all I know is he has these bastards, these rich bastards on his show that don't give a rip about any of you out there except for their big paychecks, their big fancy cars, and their big houses they probably have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of. That's what I know. And what I know right now is what I'm reporting to you, and my sources say this. The Global Times said the New Star was sequestered for alleged smuggling, a charge rejected by J. Ruai. The newspaper said a Russian Coast Guard cruiser fired at least 500 rounds on the ship and forced it to sail back toward the port in force 6 winds. The ship began to sink on the way back to port, and one of the 2 lifeboats was engulfed by high waves, the newspaper said. It said 3 of the 8 missing crew were Chinese and the rest were Indonesian. China's foreign ministry gave different numbers for the crew and missing, saying 3 of the 10 Chinese crew on board were rescued and 7 were missing. Okay, so what this story is saying from my sources is that Russia sank the Chinese ship New Star because it had a nuclear weapon on board, a nuclear warhead. And of course, the media is not telling us that. Most disturbing about these reports are them stating that the New Star is owned by J. Ruai Lucky Shipping Company Ltd., which is a private limited company registered in Hong Kong and has long been known by analysis to be international shipping carrier of the U.S. military and CIA cargo to support their global war on terror under contract with the American giant services company KBR, whose former leader was U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney. Alright, so it's owned by KBR, the ship that had that nuclear weapon on it. And they're fighting the war on terror, which is a lie, everybody knows that. And, of course, the name of Dick Cheney is going to be involved again in this. And the story goes on. These reports further state that President Obama and the globalist elite he represents are now desperate in their attempts to stage another 9/11 type false flag operation in order to complete the subjugation of their citizens prior to the expected outbreak of massive social unrest they state will be occurring during the coming summer months as their economy continues to implode. Alright, there you have it. The U.S. government, including Barack Obama, staging another false flag. And do you know why? Because the U.S. Treasurer via the Federal Reserve is printing a bunch of worthless money at their orders. The $783 billion bailout that just got passed. Guess what? Guess who prints that money and guess what it's worth? Absolutely zero. If you ever watch the movie Zeitgeist, go watch it. It will explain it. But anyway, the money is worthless. President Obama signs the order. Everybody agrees to it. They print $783 billion of worthless paper and make the debt go higher and higher and higher and higher. But guess where the interest goes that the U.S. government pays on that money? The Federal Reserve charges the interest to the U.S. government on that money. And the Federal Reserve is a private corporation. It is not federal. It goes into the rich bastards, you call them the New World Order, I call it the U.S. Congress. It goes into the rich bastards' pockets, including Barack Obama's. But it also goes in the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the Bloombergs, all the rich bastards, NWO.